Hi everybody and welcome back to The Eyes Have It. I'm Sherry and today I'm doing another one of these combo reviews and looks, and this time I'm reviewing the Balm's Meet Matte Nude. This is an unusual palette in that it is all matte. And for those of us of a certain age, doesn't always look the best to wear much sparkle. So it's nice to find a palette that is all mattes. So the way I think of this, and not everybody may agree with me, but the way I think of this palette is that you can do a gray eye, which I've done today. You can do a brown eye. And I suppose if you wanted to mix things together, you could do a mixture or like a taupe or something. But what I normally do is I either use it to do a gray eye or a brown eye. And what I've done today is I've used the corners for the gray eye. I've used Matte Malloy, which is an off-white to a cream. I used that in the very inner part of my eyelid and kind of down towards the lash and in my tear duct area. And then I used Matt Johnson, which is in the upper corner, and that is my crease color. And then I took a fluffy brush with some of the Matte Abdul and I just fluffed back and forth on that to blend it in really nice. Instead of swatching these in rows, I'm going to swatch them by color groupings. Okay, so the ones I used today, this is Matte Malloy, Matte Abdul, and Matt Johnson. And let me swatch those for you. So that's just a nice pale to medium gray. So that, I think, blends together really well, those three colors. Okay. Now, as for the browns, it depends on whether you want to do something towards the reddish brown or not. So for your light color, you could still use this Matte Malloy for the brown eye, or you could use this Matte Lombardi, which is what I usually do. And then for my darker, depending on what I want to do, I go with the Matte Rosen or the Matte Garcia. So some of these are very reddish, clayish colors. So these three are more of the reddish brown. This matte wood that's in the middle here, that is a really, really dark brown. I mean, so dark you can hardly tell that it's brown. Let me swatch a couple of those for you. This is, let's see, this is matte wood. This is Matte Rosen. And this is Matte Singh. That's Matte Garcia. As you can see, there's definitely no trouble in this palette with color payoff. You are definitely going to get saturated color in this palette. What you are not going to get in this palette is a great selection. You're not going to have blues, your purples, pinks. You're not going to have anything like that. You're going to have just your nude basic colors. You know, it's just really, I think, a testing thing to see what you like on your skin tone, especially with those reddish browns. Not everybody's going to like those. The matte hung is the only one that I find a little difficult to identify, and that's this one in the bottom corner down here. And that, I guess maybe you could classify that as, I don't know, a dark taupe or something. I think that the quality of this Meet Matte Nude palette is very good, as with almost everything the Balm. The packaging is nice, it's slim, and it has a full mirror. And it has a magnetized closing like the Balm Jovi Rockstar palette. so that it stays closed securely. And I think that it is a really nice palette to have on hand. Would it be the only palette that I would want to travel with or something? To use this like solely? No, that would not really be my cup of tea, but it might be for a lot of people who really just prefer neutrals. And I think for the older eye, I think this is a really good option. And I will say, as I said earlier, there is a lot of color payoff here. And especially in these dark colors, what I would suggest you do is once you put your brush in, to tap. Because my brush picked up so much color, it was unbelievable. So, I mean, so much product. And so I had to tap every time before I applied, and it still came out pretty dark. But just to give you a comparison, on my last video with the Smashbox palette, I had that on for about 3 hours, and my eyelids were completely crinkly, crepey, nasty, yuck, alright? And I've had this on for about 6 hours, and while here again I have dry skin and it's winter, I don't think it looks nearly as bad. Alright, so that is it for my review and look using the Balm's Meet Matte Nude palette, and I'll see you next time. Bye!